Who calls on me? O fearful form, at length you have compelled me here. Your strength has wrestled long about my sphere, and now I tremble. Come not fear. With hated breath you labored to behold me, to hear my voice, to see me face to face. You prayed with might, with death that has controlled me, and here am I. What horror now can chase the color from your lips, my Superman? Where the soul's cry, the courage that began to shape a world and bear and foster it, the heart that glowed with lofty ardor lit, to claim the purest spirits as your peers? Are you that Faust whose challenge smote my ears, who beat his way to me, proclaimed his hour, and trembles now in presence of my power? Rise from the breath of it, a frightened worm. And shall I flinch at sequel? My name is Faust, in everything you're equal. In flood of life, in action storm, I ply the wave, with weaving motion, birth in the grave, a boundless ocean, ceaselessly giving, weft of living, forms of unending, glowing and blending. So work I on the whirring loom of time, the life that clothes the deity sublime. Swift spirit, you whose projects have no end, how near can our natures seem to be? You match the spirit that you comprehend, not me, not you, whom then I made in God's own image, and not with you compare. That vision, that would be my superlative. My richest hope is in confusion heard. You spoils my vision of the spirit world, that this liquid spittle of learning at my door. Beg pardon, but I hear you, sir, declaiming some tragedy I want, from the Greek. That's just the learned art at which I'm aiming. The people are impressed when scholars speak. Indeed, I've heard the stage can be a teacher so that the actor can inspire the preacher. Last question. Is the parson is a mama, a thing you may discover now and then? But, sir, if learning ties us, winter, summer, with holidays so rare, that we see man as through a glass, remote and ill-defined, how shall our counsel serve to lead mankind? If feeling fails you, vain will be your course, and idle what you plan in this your art springs from the soul, with elemental force to hold its sway every listening heart. Well, keep at it, ply the shears and paste, concoct from feasts of other men your hashes, and should the thing be wanting fire or taste, blow into flame your little heap of ashes. You'll find some apes and children who admire it. Admiration is your chief desire. For what is uttered from the heart alone will win the hearts of others to your own. Yet by his style of speaker stands one that I know well, and that I'm back with you. Trust honesty to win success. Be not a noisy, jingling fool. Good sense and right-mindedness have little need to speak not by rule. If your mind on urgent truth is set, need you go hunting for an epithet? Nay, these your polished speeches that you make serving mankind will snip out by frill papers, they nourish us no more than winds that shake the withered leaves or shred the autumnal vapors. Me so long indeed is our life is very short, however, and often in my studious endeavor I therefore dread assayest my head and heart, how hard it is to master ways and means by which a man may reach the fountainhead, and ere he's halfway there, fate intervenes before he knows it, the poor devil's dead. Is parchment then your well of living water, where whosoever drinks shall be made whole? Look not to stem your craving in that quarter. The spring is vain that flows not from the soul. The pleasure by your leave is great, to cast the mind into the spirit of the past, and scan the former notions of the wise, and see that marvelous heights we've reached at last. Most nobly have we, up to the starry skies, My friend, for us, the alluring times of old age are like a book that's sealed up sevenfold. What you call the spirit of the ages is but the spirit of your learned sages, whose mirror is a pitiful fair, shunned by mankind after a single stare, a molten dustbin or a lumber attic, or the most of blood and thunder play, stuffed full of wit, sententious and pragmatic fit for sawdust puppetry to say. And yet the world, the human heart and mind, to understand these things must be our aim. To understand, and how is it that defined? Who dares to give that child proper name? The few of understanding, vision rare, who veil not from the herd that their hearts betrayed, for generous fools, who lay their feelings bare. Them have men always burnt and crucified. Excuse me, friend, it grows deep into night, and now it is time to think about a journey. I could have stayed up longer with tonight to join in discourse with your lofty learning, but, sir, tomorrow comes our Easter day, and I shall ask more questions if I may. I have learned a deal, made books, by drink and meat, but cannot rest till knowledge is complete. How strange that he who cleaves to shallow things can keep his hopes alive on empty terms, and dig with greed for precious blunderings, and find his happiness unearthing worms. Who dared his voice to raise its human bleat, who waits the spirit word in imminent power? Yet the man so barren and effete deserves my thanks in this most perilous hour. He snatched me from a desperate spite, fit to unhinge my reason or to slay. The apparition towards such a height, my soul was dwarfed within me in dismay. I, dazzling image who have seemed forsooth to near to the mirror of eternal truth, compassed the power to shed the mortal clay and revel in the sub-celestial day. I, who presumed in puissance to outsoar the cherubim to flow in nature's veins, with godlike joy in my greatest pains, I rode too high, and deep must I deplore one underworld has robbed me of my reins. I dare not, spirit, count me in your sphere. For though I had the power to call you here, no force have I that binds you or retains. And in that moment, dread and wondrous, when I, so puny, grow so great, you thrust me with a verdict thunderous, back to the uncertain mortal fate. Who is my guide? What shall I shun? Or what imperious urge obey? Alas, not only woes, but actions done walk by us to hedges on our way. Yes, spirit's splendor in the soul unfurled, ever stifled with the strangest stuff, our values matched with good things of this world, mocking with seed and seam, and airy bluff our nobler veins. The true life-giving springs are choked with all dust of earthly things. What dull imagination spread her wings and early hope towards the things eternal shrunk as a specious realm in the diurnal defeat that loss and disappointment brings. Full soon in deepest hearts care finds and nests, and by a will the bed of pain and secret still. There rocks herself disturbing joy nest, and ever takes my new shape to work her will. With fluttering fears for home, or wife for child, a thought of poison flood or perils wild, but man must quail at bridges never crossed, lamenting even things he never lost. Shall I then rank with gods? Too well I feel my kinship with the worm who bores the soil, who feeds on dust until the wanderer hears.